Hey guys, what is up everybody and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to talk about Amazon Europe, and I want to outline why you might want to sell on Amazon Europe, who should sell on Amazon Europe, what are the advantages and disadvantages of Amazon Europe, and like general things to remember. Why do you need Amazon? And the answer is simple, and I already mentioned it in my previous videos. So first of all, it is access to existing Amazon client database. So Amazon is well-established platform worldwide, and it means that Amazon has loyal audience all over the world. And if you enter that, let's say, platform, you will be able to showcase or present your product to already existing audience. You don't really need to go through the process of winning audience to your place, to your website, or to your mobile application. Amazon already did it for you. But of course, it's not that simple, because within any niche, within any category, you already have competition. So of course, you would need to work on that as well. But in general, you already have your product in a place which people trust. People buy there because they know it's like fast delivery. People buy there because they know if anything happens, they can go to Amazon support and kind of place a claim. Whatever happens, people sort of protect it. That's why they trust Amazon. And also it is easier. It's just from A to Z, easy process to buy. And then second advantage of Amazon is it is global scale, right? So if you somehow manage to sell your product within one region, it will be much easier for you to scale to other marketplaces worldwide. You can go to entire Europe, you can go to United States and Canada, you can go to Australia and India, for example. So there are so many opportunities worldwide if you find your product placement and you can find your audience within the Amazon. Third thing is basically logistics, right? So Amazon does last mile delivery as nobody else. If somehow you start to grow rapidly, right? So your product at certain point become popular, and when it happens, Amazon still can cover you because they have established platforms, they work with the global providers, they're ready for any volume, which is not the case when you sell D2C, because when you sell D2C, you will need to manage all of those fluctuations in demand by yourself. Amazon basically takes it off from shoulders, and you can focus on brand development and product development within the platform. Who should sell on Amazon? I personally believe that Amazon is a good place for those people who own the brand, or those companies who own the brand and they sell their own product. It gives you so many additional, let's say, advantages, where you can fully control the brand, you can fully control your listings, you can have some other features and tools which allow you to get first feedbacks quicker, which can allow you to brand your web page in a way you need it for a brand, and in general protect your brand within the platform. Otherwise it's a little bit tricky because it comes with some kind of disadvantages. Why you might want to consider Amazon Europe? First of all, because it is 9 marketplaces within the European Union, but the thing is, you can sell pan-European FBA, and in this case, you don't really need to manage each marketplace separately. You're basically manage everything from one place, and you have access to population of 500 million people. Income in Europe quite good comparing to some other regions in the world, and it means that you can sell your product for reasonable money. I intentionally include in UK here because UK is one of the most dynamic markets, one of their, let's say, richest markets as well. And in terms of client behavior, Amazon UK is really close to what you can experience in the United States. So that's why, even though like after the Brexit, UK is not a part of European Union, you still want to sell on Amazon UK as a part of your European strategy. So what are the disadvantages of selling in Europe? And there are quite few. I highlighted only the biggest ones here. And I think that the biggest one is like too many regulations. Europe is super regulated. All of those countries, they have their own heritage and their own history, and now they need to communicate together. So they basically want that whoever plays part in this game basically comply with all the rules within the territory. So sometimes paperwork can be nightmare, to be honest. So it's too many regulations. It's also so many languages and cultures, meaning that first of all, if you want to sell in all markets, you have to really understand how to position your products in each of those markets. You have to understand whether your audience is there, because what is working for northern countries might not work for southern countries. Let's say what you can sell in Norway probably not going to be popular in Spain, and vice versa. And also so many cultures, right? Culture is a part of how people buy, what they buy, and what they like and what they don't like. So you definitely would need to deal with all of that while you're developing your Amazon business within Europe. And also, in general, European market is very conservative and slow, meaning that people who used to buy certain products, for them it's not that easy to switch to another one. For example, people in the United States much more open to try something new, where in Europe is not like that. So if people used to buy certain things, they will continue buying certain things until they have someone convince them, or they have somehow tried a new product and that product is better. And also all procedures and all processes in Europe just much slower. So you have to keep it in mind. You have to be ready for that. So if you really want to push things forward, it will take time. Advantages, because most of the advantages of selling in Europe, they actually come from the disadvantages. And because, as I told you before, in Europe that many regulations, not everyone is ready to tackle those regulations and try to go through all the procedures. So that's why it has less competition in comparison, let's say, to the US. So many brands, they just don't enter European market because for them it's so hard to do. They don't understand. They have no clue how to follow all the requirements and all regulations. So that's why if you determine that you want to go there, you have advantage because you will have just less competition. It is more loyal market long term. So as I mentioned before, people are super conservative. People like to buy same thing all over again. And if somehow eventually you win the audience within their Europe or European marketplace, people will just buy your product again and again. So that's where loyalty comes in place, and it basically plays a good role for you because you just eventually spend less money for marketing and you know that you have loyal audience. Those people, they might even start to buy from you D2C, not through Amazon, but through your own platform or website. Next thing is diversity in geography. So it means that, if some product cannot be sold in one place, you might try to sell it in different place. What you could not sell in Spain, you might be able to sell in Sweden or Norway or even Germany, right? So you have more geographies and you can somehow rotate your product so you can sell it all year round, if it's seasonal product, for example. One more thing which I want to outline here is opportunity of domestic production and supply, because European Union really wants people to produce products within the Europe. And historically, Europe has so many production, factories all over the Europe, in Italy, in Spain, in France, like everywhere. So if you play in long term and eventually you grow, you can start producing your product within Europe. Or even if you can do it now, right from the beginning, you have that many advantages because first of all, it's much easier supply. It is much easier in terms of paperwork. And it is just has more support from, first of all, European Union community, because people in Europe like products produced in Europe. And also from the legal side, you just have more support because product which is produced in Europe, it just less it has less barriers to enter the market than any products which you need to import from abroad. Key things to remember: first of all, if you wanna enter European market, you have to be ready for paperwork, because believe me, you'll do a lot of paperwork, and it's not only in the beginning but all time, right? Second thing which you definitely need to understand or learn or find someone who's gonna do it for you, you have to understand European Union taxation, because taxes in Europe work a little bit differently. Like, depends on the way how you're gonna sell, you would need to deal with taxation. Just be ready to play long term, because as I mentioned, in Europe it's not that fast. But if you're able to establish yourself in Europe long term, you will be winning. You will be winning in, over any other competition which you might have eventually. So guys, that's pretty much it. Like, super quick overview. Just wanted to summarize in basic words what is that. Less technical details, more like, some things to share. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. And also, welcome to my Patreon page, because there I publish some additional information about topics I'm covering here. And if you have any questions about your business, Patreon is also an opportunity to chat with me, ask some of the questions, and maybe find some solutions together. Like, subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next one. Cheers.